Hello, this is Greg Allison with Green Greg's Garden and Worm Farm. I'm going to do a little video here on sweet potatoes, planting sweet potatoes. Now, sweet potatoes are a root crop. That means they need a good deep level of soil, compost, something to grow in that's loose and deep to allow room for the tubers to form. It also allows their roots to form and to get the nutrients they need. Some people will plant potatoes, various types, and then kind of add up successive layers of hay and things like that. That's doable, and you can grow in that too. Now this is some that I've already set out. Here's some sweet potatoes. They're 2 foot apart. Kind of raised beds here. The middles are kind of grassy. I'm going to have to do something about that. Now, at one time these beds were laid out different. I hired somebody to come in and till, and I told them I wanted raised beds, and what they did is they left me sunken beds. In the wet south, that don't work. So you can see my hole there. I've been in here taking that depressed area and cutting it up to make it loose and raising it up in the center. See how much I managed to raise it up, but also it's cut underneath, so it is deeper, and I kind of pull that stuff into the center to make a, that's not a 30-inch wide bed like Elliot Coleman teaches to use, or Curtis Stone, but I don't need that for planting sweet potatoes because they're going to grow everywhere. So what I'm doing is I'm just gathering this stuff up to make loose material. Now, yeah, that should be pulverized maybe a little better, but I'm going in and add worm castings. This is my fertilizer. I'm adding a good bit of worm castings on top of this. The worm castings will seep down in there over time. They'll fill up some of these cracks and crannies, but there'll be room for the tomatoes, excuse me, for the potatoes to grow, and for the and plenty of nutrients here for the potatoes with all these worm castings. That's pure worm castings there and there. That's about 1 wheelbarrow's worth. So I'm gonna have to bring a couple more wheelbarrows worth for this one, and 1 or 2 more for that. So I'd say 4 more wheelbarrows of worm castings. Now see, worm castings are expensive if you're buying them and don't have a ginormous worm farm like me, so you might want to mix them with compost and peat moss and other things like that. But if you got a ginormous worm farm, you can do a lot of stuff. That's why I tell you, you want to start a worm farm. Anyway, so what I'm doing is I'm just hoeing, and I find I can do a lot better with a hoe than a lot of other people with a tiller. For one thing, they didn't till that deep, and so I'm just taking the hoe, the corner of it. I can do it better with 2 hands than 1 hand. Just to give you an example, I'm digging because I hit a lot harder with 2 hands. That ain't the way I do it. But anyway, so I'm gonna get here and dig this out. Can't really do it and hold the camera at the same time, so I'm gonna take both hands. But I'm gonna tear this up, make it this like that, and then I'm going to put in worm castings and plant. I might mix a little peat moss in with it too, and then I will plant and set out sweet potatoes. So I'm going to show you. I got somebody else do a little filming for me. I actually can hoe. It's just hard to do with a camera in your hand. Watch, see, I can take up big chunks of dirt with a hoe. I'm using both hands. And I can dig deep. I can get a good bite in here, and that's what I'm doing. I'm hoeing and tearing this up. And nobody says it's easy. Nothing about farming easy. Nothing worthwhile is easy. For everybody looking for an easy ride, when it hits the fan, you're going to starve to death. You got to scratch for a living. See my videos of my dad talking about the Great Depression. It was not easy. So what I do is I'm also pulling this stuff toward the center, so I get a good pile here in the middle of deep soil for the sweet potatoes to grow in. And yeah, like I said, that's a bit chunky. Cut it up some of your hoe, because a big chunk like that, nothing will grow inside that chunk, but it does provide cover for the sweet potatoes. And the big chunks aren't that big because they do create airspace and leave some room, more room for the potatoes to grow. The worm castings I'm going to put in here will give enough nutrients along with what's in the soil already to make this stuff really grow. And I've grown some ginormous sweet potatoes in the past, doing it just this way. So it should be no problem. In addition, I'll probably add extra worm castings where we actually set the plants up themselves. Well, this bed will be very rich. As you can see, the soil there is really hard. It's packed dense. You could not grow any potatoes in that dense stuff. It would not grow worth a flip. But I'm in here biting deep. I'm getting 2 or 3 inches depth, and then you can see all this is piled on top of that. And then I'm going to put worm castings on top of that too. Pull it all into the center. That would be edible. This one go to the compost today to make something for potatoes growing. There's a lot of wild salad greens going around here. There's plenty of videos on that. But you can see if you get with it, you can make a lot of hay in a hurry. I'm using that. Yeah. So it's entirely possible. I just did all this in just a couple minutes. I'm about to tear that up. So we'll come back to this when I'm setting out plants. Let me show you how to support my channel and get your heirloom seeds at the same time. Simply find one of my videos that has the links below. Some of my live sessions don't. So I'd say go in here to this video. So go down here, you can either go to my pinned comments and click more, or you can go up here to show more here. There's two ways. It's redundant. Show more or pinned comments. Either way, you're going to find links to videos and various other things. But at the very top, what you're going to find, these things for supporting my channel. Teamed up with True Leaf Market, and here's the link. Click the link to True Leaf Market. There it is. Here. Your non-GMO seed source since 1974. And look here what all you can get. You can get garden seeds, microgreen seeds, sprouting seeds, wheatgrass. You can get supplies to grow these things with. Everything you need. See, microgreens, I show you how to grow stuff indoors, garden supplies. But True Leaf Market actually tells you how to grow your seeds. Look at these carrots here. Taste a little scrumptious. They tell you where it grows and how to plant them. You can't beat that. Right here at True Leaf Market, an excellent source for your seeds. So please order. Use the link below my channel, in my videos. Thank you very much. All right, I just wanted you to see this. When I'm hoeing, to pull the dirt in the middle, I hoe from both sides. You can see I got a little ditch here. I pulled it in. Well, I'm pulling it in from the other side too. That lets me get in the middle really tall and raised, which means that, you know, if it rains real hard, as it's often do here in the south, it can drain easily. If I put some if I put some peat moss with the worm castings, which I'll mix with the rest of these, it'll have be able to hold just enough moisture to keep it right for the plants, because it does dry out a lot. And I'm gonna have to irrigate. Looks like this year, last 2 years I didn't have to irrigate at all, but it's already starting out a little dry this year. Of course that could change. We've sure had tons of rain through the spring, more than just crazy amounts. And solar minimum stuff. Since we got grand solar minimum going on, I expect it might pick up rain again. We don't know yet. But anyway, what I'm doing is I'm just hoeing out this side to pull this into the middle to make it higher. Greg, why don't you use a tiller? Why are you using hose and all this stuff all the time on power tools? Well, a couple things. Actually, the tillers pulverize the dirt so much, it's going to settle down more. Anyway, this should be pulverized a little better. I'll put the worm castings in and make up for it, and this will help the bed stay higher because of the airspace it does have. And also I'm able to do things like I'm showing you right here. I'm able to pull the dirt, which you don't do with a tiller. Now maybe I could have done that center part with the tiller and then come back and done this. Yeah, that's true. But you know, I'm also showing you something else. You don't have to have ginormous power tools to garden. You know, if you have, check out the video about my favorite tool, farm tool, which is my big, what I call my hand tiller. And what you will see is you can do a lot with just hose and hand tools. There are farms that use nothing else, even this day. And they grow a lot and do very well. So I'm definitely a fan. Look here how high I got this piled up now. You see that? That'll be perfect for the sweet potatoes. Now I'm pulling it from both ends. I'm getting a lot of depth in here. Fortunately, the soil's got some rocks in it, which is not good on the hoe blade. It's going to have to be sharpened. But I can pile this stuff up, I can move it. There's one added benefit. I'm out here in the sun, getting natural vitamin D, fresh air, and exercise. You just don't get the same exercise running a tiller. And it's loud and noisy and burns gas and makes fumes. So, there's a lot to be said for running your hoe instead of a tiller, don't you know? So, here I am, hoeing away make a better day. And that's what you can do too. So don't shun your hand tools. Use them. Get used to them. You need to build strength for what's coming at us. You need strength. You need endurance. The day will come that you may not get fuel to run that tiller. And then you may not have that stamina to do what this old man does here. I got kids that come here who can't do this in their 20s. And I always tell them, move over, let a grandpa show you how to work. So, they can, they just got to learn to do it. A lot of it's mental. Now look at that, that didn't take me long at all. Look at all the work I did there with a hoe in just a short period of time. It's amazing what a man and a hoe can do. There you go. Use your hoe when you got to go and dig a hole. Now I'm going to show you how to set out sweet potato slips. And what I've done is I took my post hole diggers here and I've dug a little depression just to add extra worm castings. Because sweet potatoes really love it. This will make them grow like mad. This is really feeding them good. So I'm going to take that and put it down here in the bottom. Now these potato slips are all grown together. So I'm going to have to tear them apart. Here's some that's already apart a little bit. You have to be careful taking the roots apart where they grow together like this, because you don't really want to tear the plant up. So I'm just going to tear some of them apart and try to be gingerly on some of these. That looks like it's making the potato there. You see that little knot there? Might be where they'll start at. So I'm just going to tear all these apart. These have got to be set out. As they're growing together and they've been like this too long. They need to get in the ground, get something to eat with the soil, and be watered. Alright, so we got these all kind of torn apart, so they'll be easier to work with now. We got a lot of ground to plant these and some others in. That one don't look like it's viable. Neither does that one. Yep. So what I'm going to do is, we want viable plants. We're just going to come in here and set this guy in here. He's sitting on top of worm castings. I'm just going to cover around him. I've got a little trowel shovel I can do that with too. And essentially, it's set and ready to go. Now, as I've mentioned, as these things grow, you could come back and backfill straw and things around them, and the potatoes will actually grow up into that. I kind of doubt that I'm going to do that. I'm just telling you what's possible. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go a foot out from the next plant. And I'm going to give it a little bit more than that, because these root balls, these things can make ginormous potatoes. The documentation on planting these says to set them in rows 42 inches wide and plants 12 inches apart. Well, I got kind of rows here, but usually when I do beds, I always take the smallest measure and plant plants 12 inches apart. But these are such big runners, I'm just going to plant them in these rows I've established here, which are, yeah, they're probably close to 42 inches. So right there is about a foot. If I kind of mark that, I see where it is. I can dig another hole right here. And again, Greg, why are you using post hole diggers? Well, you don't have to. I like using them because they dig out and excavate a big hole real fast. And I can go in here and add a lot of worm castings. Plus, there's some subsoil down here and I can break it up, even though I hold in here pretty good. This gives me the way to break more of this stuff up. The more room for potatoes to grow, the more you tear this up, the better. And probably I might not have been hoeing this deep when I was over here. So just don't bite and tear up your other plant with the post hole diggers when you do that. Then once again, you come in, grab another slip, grab some worm castings or compost. Good compost works. Hopefully you have a good compost pile. Maybe you have a worm farm and have plenty of worm castings. And I know you all want worms and you're going, Greg, we don't have worms. We'd buy them from if your website was up. Well, I'll be back up, just not now. And there we go. He's going to have to have some water. That one looks kind of rough. Hopefully when I give him a little water, he'll be perked up. So there we go. This is how we get it started. I'm not going to bore you with every one of these guys that we put in. But we're definitely going to, yeah, another thing post hole diggers help you with is getting up. So definitely healthy, handy tools to have around. So we're just going to go ahead and fill this bed out with worm castings and plant these in here, and we'll have some interesting sweet potatoes real soon. Okay, the sweet potatoes are all set out, and I got a couple Beauregard variety sweet potatoes too. That's the bigger plants. And then I went through all my sweet potatoes and I set out peppers. And so we got over here some habanero peppers and got some jalapeno peppers. And then we sent out, let's see, what I got over here. I've got ghost peppers and dun 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 dun, Carolina Reaper. Jesus creepers. Carolina Reapers. We'll be singing to Jesus like the frogs that are peepers. I'm on my way today. Coming to see ya. And look here. If the gardens ain't ready to eat, wild greens are. This is, I've done a video on this. Check my old videos. This is sheep sorrel. Good, tasty. That may be a, looks like I got me an elderberry bush here. Sheep sorrel. It's always something to eat, even before the garden's ready. If you know how to eat, you know what to eat. And I did leave a few weeds for my bees, or my beekeeper's bees. But hey, he gives me honey. Can't beat that. He does all the work, or the bees do most of the work. He keeps the hives, and I get some honey. Good deal. So busy right now, I don't have time to add beekeeping to my repertoire. But that'll come, and hopefully I'll show some bees from him real soon. Maybe I can get in and we'll do some videos with him on beekeeping. That might be fun. And I do have a blueberry bush right here in front of my house. And they're scrumptious. No, I don't use pesticides and stuff in my house to keep me from eating these. So like I said, there's always plenty around to eat at Ringgraves. So, a lot of people are being unsubscribed from my channel. And a lot of people that are subscribed aren't getting the notification. So do this. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Bang the update notification bell and click all. Then go back, if you're not seeing updates from me, go back and check my channel and see what my latest videos are. Just go back and look at it. And support my channel, click the links below. As you can see, it is gardening time, it is planting time, it is time to get involved. I still have a few plants up here, and I put them here on this old camper shell under this tree, because I did get some rain, wind, and weather, but they're somewhat sheltered. This is how I harden plants off. Any plants that's coming from a greenhouse or being grown indoors on the way to the outdoors needs to be hardened off, just like our kids do. Remember my video, Tough Love? And I need to set these out. These will definitely deter bugs from the garden. And I've got a few more peppers to go. I used all the front and side gardens. I got another little front area to plant some in. I also saw a brown wood thrush. Yep. Y'all been hearing those things a lot, chatting about them. My frogs are starting to sing. So, just want to say to everyone, you can also go to My Patriot Supply. The link through me, my link to that is prepwithgreg.com. Then through that, you can click around and get to My Patriot Supply. I got videos that show how to do that. You can check around. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching. Have a great day.